Hey guys. Hey everybody. How are you guys doing? So I'm coming to you live or via the replay. Trying to make sure that everything is not in the way. That part. Okay, I'm back. Hey guys. And so I am Altovise Peltzer, the voice coach, professional speaker, certified life coach, and Amazon bestselling author. And hey, I'm coming to you with a special training that I am doing for the business men and women of color community here on Facebook. They are an amazing community put together by Ann, who will be in the broadcast at some point as well. But listen, things happen. How about that, y'all? Things happen. And so literally 10 minutes before I was about to go and test the broadcast, what happens? We lose a Wi-Fi signal in our area and that part. But the show must go on. And so I'm always prepared to be able to do what it is that needs to be done to make sure the message goes out. So with that being said, we are about to knock it out the park. And we about to knock it out the park and learn just how you can leverage your unique voice in order for you to be able to be successful and be visible. Because that is the biggest piece of any successful business, is that you're visible. Because the reality is guess what? They can't see you, they can't buy from you. Now, why am I the one that's talking about this particular topic? As an introvert, I can tell you that it's very difficult at times to be seen. Why? Because as an introvert, your number one priority is not to be seen. So you can imagine being a speaker, an author, a podcaster, where it has put me in the position of being before people. The visibility that I have been able to attain, the opportunities that have been opening up, it all comes from the strategy and the things, the key 5 things that we're going to talk about today. So, with that being said, let's get started. And so, what do you want more of? That's a question that every business owner should ask themselves on a regular basis. What do I want more of? Hey, how are you? What do I want more of? Do I want more opportunities? Do I want more dreams? Do I want a bigger savings account? Do I want vacations, more time with family? Do I want financial stability? What is it that I'm trying to achieve? A lot of times we forget that we have to have that goal in our line of sight. Why? Because if we lose sight of that goal, then we are all over the place. And oftentimes we will not do the things that are necessary if we lose sight of the goal that we're trying to achieve. You lose sight of the goal, you won't do the things necessary. So what does that mean? For me, I'm an introverted entrepreneur. So I had to fine-tune, yes, I said fine-tune, the skills and techniques to become visible in an extroverted society. Let's be honest, everybody is extroverted when it comes to, okay, everybody wants to take a pic. Come on, we even had, look, the selfie song was out and everything else, right? That's the reality of the world that we live in, is that everything is a picture, everything is a video, everything is quick. Show people what you're doing, show people who you are, show people how you're doing it. And guess what? For an introvert, I don't want you to know what I'm doing all the time. Because I'd much rather be laying on the couch reading a book sometimes, because that's the introvert in me. But I had to be able to be move and maneuver in an extroverted world. With that being said, we have to understand that guess what? People can't buy from you if they don't see you. They cannot buy from you if they don't see you. Good evening. Hello, how are you? They can't buy from you if they don't see you. So we definitely have to make sure that we're visible in order for people to be able to purchase from us. With that being said, I can tell you that in the beginning, when I first started my business in 2015, I was trying to do what I saw everybody else being successful doing. And I've learned since my rebrand in 2016 that you got to just be true to who you are. You'll find that the more willing you are to be, transparent, unique, and authentically you, that means the more people will show up and want to find out what it is that you're actually doing. Hey, Paula, they'll want to find out what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it. When you show up as the authentic version of yourself, people are going to show up and want to see what's going on. And so I literally, in my slideshow, I have pictures of me doing some not local events, some events that I've done last year. And one of them, it was interesting, was in Indianapolis. And so the theme was Race to Freedom. For me, I'm always thinking outside the box. So my topic, my speech was, stop showing up to a NASCAR race with a soapbox car. That was my topic, right? And of course it stood out because it stayed with the theme, and that was showing up my authentic self. I was still my silly, giggly self, unicorn loving self. I also did an event for the Mission I'm Possible event conference in Fort Lauderdale. And guess what? Still showed up as authentically me. From each event, I was able to walk away with people on my email list. I was able to walk away with people buying my books. I was able to walk away with new clients from each event. And I was able to walk away knowing that the investment that I put into being at that event, I was able to get a return on the investment. How many of you want a return on your investment? Say me in the comments. If you want a return on the investment that you're putting in to an event, especially an event when you're going and paying out money to have a vendor table or to be a speaker, how many of you can say that you honestly want a return on that investment? I know that I do. I never want to put out an investment and not see some type of return from it. So that means that I have to have the strategy in place to receive that return. So what are going to be the 5 things that we're going to discuss tonight? Tonight it's all going to be about publishing the book, live streaming, interviews, which I've kind of gotten to being a pro at. Networking and live events. So I'll give you those 5 again. It's going to be publishing a book, live streaming, interviews, networking, and live events. Those are the 5 key areas. 5. Put up the 5 for me. Put up the high 5 for me. Those are the 5 key areas that I worked diligently on in the last 2 years that have awarded me several clients, a mastermind group, an accountability group, as well as clients who have taken some of my $1,000 courses, because I don't have courses that are less than $1,000. So literally that is what I have been awarded. So there's this picture that you have to have in your mind, and think of it as 3 circles, the top circle and 2 circles at the bottom. And with that, you have to remember that your why is your top circle. Your why will always be your top circle, because you always need to know why you are doing the things that you're doing. Yes, I want to be able to make money, but my why is not making money. My why is to empower women who have gone through abuse to be able to speak and find their voice. I want them to be able to be that speaker, that author after going through abuse. And so for me, that is my why. It drives me. It is my passion, my purpose. So that why has to be something deep enough so that way when the storms of life come, because guess what? The storms of life are going to come. When the storms of life come, guess what? You won't be uprooted when you have a why that's deep enough, right? And then your what and your how. And so your what is your end game. My what is, retiring in San Juan or, anything like that. That pie in the sky dream is your what sometimes. But it's, what do I want to achieve for myself? What do I want to get out of this? What's my benefit sometimes? And then your how. And so these 5 things that we're going to discuss is going to be your how. This has been the 5 key things that have been my how to bring me from where I was in 2014, where I was virtual assistant services and social media marketing and doing all this behind the scenes stuff, to in 2016 rebranding. And literally since then I've done telesales, summits. I've done interviews on podcasts and radio shows, both here and across the seas. I've done some in Canada and Scotland and the UK. I actually just recorded one for the UK yesterday. So this is what you need to do, and we're going to go through that process. So publishing a book. Now, I know everybody always talks about, I want to publish a book. I want to publish a book. I know I got a story to tell. Hey, I got a story to tell. I told y'all I'm going to show up authentically me, right? I got a story to tell. Everybody has a story to tell, but no two stories are going to be exactly alike. And I know that when I first decided that I was going to write a book, trust me, the book did not flourish and come to fruition until 8 years later. 8 years, y'all. 8 years of giving myself deadlines, 8 years of research, 8 years of putting things on paper and saying, this is what I want to achieve. I can do it. I can do it. And then not doing it. So what changed from the time that I said I wanted to first do the book until when I actually published it in 2016? What changed was my why. When I decided, after a conversation with my daughter about how I had been molested as well as a child, because I'm the mother of 2 teen girls who are victors over molestation, when I had a conversation with her, and it was the first time that I had ever told anybody, then it opened up my mind and it opened up my heart to the fact that there are other people that need to understand that they are not alone. That became my why. It became my purpose, my mission, that no woman would go through life thinking that they were the only one that has endured abuse. That no woman would go through life thinking that what they endured in that abuse was meant to keep them quiet. That what they endured was meant to show them that they were less than. No, not on my watch. And so it's interesting that right now we have this whole Me Too and Time's Up movement, because I was doing that before it became the movement. But the reality is that it needs to be more than just a movement. It needs to be a way of life. So with that being said, the first book is It's Okay to Cry. I decided to go ahead and move forward and publish the book. Woo! Now when we publish a book, your book is going to be a couple things for you. Publishing a book adds credibility to your brand. Literally, if you can send somebody to an Amazon account or other accounts, because there's other places that you can publish a book as well. If you send somebody to a place and say, this is what I sat down, put my blood, sweat, and tears into, and published, that speaks volumes, especially depending on the topic that you're talking about. Now, granted, you can write books about everything under the sun. Guys, we can write books until we can't write books no more. So you can write books about everything. But the reality is that the books that I want to write are going to be directly connected to my brand. I want to publish books so that people see that I am the expert in my industry. So not only is your book making you credible, but it also is like a business card. There have been many times that I've handed somebody a book instead of a business card. Why? It's an expensive business card, to say the least, but it is a business card. They get to see exactly what it is that you do. And this is the other thing. And I'm so anti-business card. I'm so different, y'all, in case you didn't know. And so this is the other thing about that, is that you should always be telling people who you serve, how you serve, okay, and who you are. All right? And a book shows just that, especially if you wrote it about something that's in your industry. Who you are, who you serve, and how you serve. Literally, you put it all right there in a book. They open it up. Your bio's in there. Your life story can be in there. That's okay. It's all in that book. So now I have opportunities that I can give that book away. Now, am I giving away every copy of the book? No. We not broke. We not trying to be broke. But I do give away copies at times, and it's a form of it being a business card. So that's something that you definitely have to understand, is that that's what it is. It's your business card. Then it's also a stream of revenue. It brings in more money. I cannot tell you how many times where I have looked and gotten a little notification. Amazon just did a direct deposit in your account. Right? Who doesn't like money just coming in on a regular basis? Now, there's some things to that, because you have to make sure that you are marketing your book regularly and things of that nature. But who can go wrong with that, you guys? Like, how do you go wrong with that? You don't. Hey, Lakeisha, how do you go wrong with that? You can't go wrong with money just being deposited from people purchasing the book on a regular basis. I think that sounds good to me. And so we're talking not just about publishing the book, but we want to maximize it, right? We want a maximum exposure. We want visibility. Now, how do we get the most visibility, the most exposure? By having a book. Author or book awards and nominations. So yeah, we know that, actresses and actors have all of these award nominations, right? And they're so amazing, and we're like, oh my goodness, the Oscars, oh, the BET Awards, yeah. So we get excited, right? But guess what? We have those for authors as well. And it's a great way for you to get recognition, even if you do not win the award. A nomination, guess what? Still brings information. You still post about you being nominated in a certain category, and you go to the events and you take pictures. Guess what? There's a great way for you to market yourself and your brand by being at a book awards or being even nominated for a book awards. There are numerous ones, and I'm telling you, there are book awards for every and any industry. I can guarantee that. So you definitely know that that's a great way for you to gain exposure, is through book awards and nominations. Another way for you to gain exposure is bulk sales. Now, most people would say bulk sales, that doesn't really gain exposure. It does. When you go to organizations and you reach out to them and connect with them and create a contract with them that they buy your books in bulk. It can be that they buy the books in bulk to give out. It can be that they buy the books in bulk for a reading group. It can be that they buy the books in bulk for different opportunities, for their personal library in that industry, that whatever it might be that you wrote about. So buying book sales in bulk, having people buy your books in bulk, it's allowing you to reach a larger scale, a larger amount of people than just selling one book to this person and one book to that person. And that's not something that most publishing companies or most people that help you publish your book, that's not something that they really talk about. They kind of missed the mark on that one. But being able to do those bulk sales is everything. Listen. Oh, so Anne just asked a very good question, and I'll go ahead and insert it in right now. She said, how would you go about making that connection and doing that contract in order to get, those bulk sales? Guess what? It's about the networking, which is going to be something that we're going to talk about a little later. But that networking is key. I can tell you that I have online connected with bookstores in order for them to have my book in their stores. I've connected with people online to be able to do bulk sales. LinkedIn is a great place to connect with corporate industries that may be able to utilize your book for a company-wide training, for any number of things. But guess what? You gotta be willing to make the commitment to connecting with people on a regular basis, and not just so they can get they can make the sale, but you want to build the relationship. So number 3 was author interviews and reviews. Reviews are everything. If you have video reviews, if you have reviews on LinkedIn, reviews or recommendations on LinkedIn is what they're called, reviews on Amazon or any of the big name websites or stores, And then also on Facebook business page. Right now, you're on my Facebook business page, or you're seeing a video that's being shared from my Facebook business page. Shout out to all of you that have shared the video. And literally, if you go to my review section, it's people that have seen me speak in public and different conferences and different telesummits and things. You see people that have bought my book and read my book. You'll see different recommendations and reviews from all over. Guess what? It makes such a big difference, because there are so many ways that you can use those reviews and recommendations. You can screenshot it and share them out on social media to build engagement. Again, it's all about visibility. Hey, if you're sharing out a review of your book, it might be a good book. Let me go check it out. So you definitely want to get those author interviews and reviews. Now, the interviews we're going to talk about a little later too, but interviews are everything. Between last year and now, I average about two interviews a month. About 2 interviews on average. Some months I do more, some months I do twice a week. But I average about 2 to 3 a month. And what has that done? That has granted me an audience in front of people from the UK, in front of people that are in Scotland, in Canada, in Peru, in the Virgin Islands, all across the United States. I've been connected with people who are in Pakistan, in Dubai. And so you have an opportunity for great visibility by being on a podcast interview, by doing a live interview on Facebook with someone. The opportunities are endless. We know that we are in the business men and women of color community. Guess what? Anne had an amazing opportunity for us to do a podcast interview with her. Reach out to her. Say, hey, Anne. Reach out and say, hey, when's the next lineup of interviews going to be happening? Guess what? Those interviews are amazing, and we're going to talk about what you can do with those interviews and how you make it work. Then we have live and virtual author chats. Now on Twitter does something called a Twitter chat. And you can literally have a set time, and you use a hashtag, a certain hashtag, and you have a set time where you go on Twitter and you talk with your readers. They can ask you questions. They can tell you what their favorite part about the book is. You can talk to them about an upcoming book. Guess what? That's visibility, because that hashtag can be seen by everyone. The conversation can be seen by everyone. And anybody who puts that hashtag in will be able to pull up that conversation immediately. Now, this is something that most people, again, that's one of those behind the scene hacks that people don't really know about. They don't really pay attention to. But yes, and don't think that Twitter is the only place that you can use the hashtag and do a chat. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it on Instagram, because you can go live on Instagram and have a chat about a book as well. Hey, it's a great way to engage your audience. And now that Instagram has done another update and allows you to share out people's stories and lives, now your stuff can be shared by people who are watching it, and that gives you greater visibility as well. So that is for publishing the book. Next, we're going to talk about live streaming. You guys are watching me live stream right now. Go unicorn, go unicorn, go unicorn. And so I've been live streaming for 2 years now. I am such an introvert. Live streaming was never on my list of things to do. It wasn't on my bucket list. It wasn't on my list of things to do. It wasn't on none of that. It was on Periscope that I first started seeing people live stream, and it was before Facebook Live. But, you know, I said, okay. I found somebody that said, you know, you could do this for your business. And I was like, I can't do that for my business. Not she, me, her. But the power of live streaming, right? The power of live streaming gives you an opportunity to far-reaching opportunity. I've had people reach me through live streaming all across the world, because guess what? I'm gonna tell you the biggest piece, the biggest power of live streaming and a video is the replay. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna tell you how to do it. So the biggest important thing about your video and your live stream is the replay. And so right here, I'm going to say, hey to my replay viewers, don't matter if you're catching it on the replay, you can still share it out and comment. I will come back and answer your questions as well. So guess what? Replay viewers are watching videos. You may end a live stream and only have 100 views and come back in 24 hours and it be at 600 views. Replay viewers matter. Can we put that in the comments? Replay viewers matter, because they definitely do. You don't know if the replay viewer that comes on will be somebody that purchases a class from you, purchases a book. Guess what? We're all about the replays, because it makes a huge difference. So now with live streaming, what does live streaming do for you? It builds a virtual community, literally. I've had so many people connect with me virtually that have never met me in person. Come on. Never met me in person, but they've connected with me virtually first. Even most of my clients, can I be honest and tell you that most of my clients connected with me virtually before they ever saw me in person? I have clients who have purchased from me $1,000 programs who have never seen me in person. Does that mean they will never see me in person? No. They'll see me in person. But at the moment, they have not seen me in person. It's all from live stream. This is the big thing. Is live streaming allows people to know, like, and trust you. When people buy from you, what do they need? They need to know, like, and trust you. So people buy from who they know, like, and trust. And live video with all the mishaps, trust me, I've gone live and the kids have set off the smoke alarm. I've gone live and dropped the camera. I've gone live and boo-hooed. But they get to know, like, and trust you. Like, as long as you're not coming on with this facade and thinking that you have to use all of these amazing words and sound as if you're speaking from the dictionary. You don't have to sound like you're speaking from the dictionary. Show up, authentically you. We started out saying that, right? Authentically you. Show up, because guess what? When you show up authentically you, the people that are your ideal clients will show up as well. So it builds a virtual community. You'll see some people in the comments that are a part of the virtual community that I have met. I see Sophia and Thea in the comments. Guys, it's all a part of that virtual community where we come and we support each other and network with each other. Also, can I tell y'all something? Everybody always gets so up in arms about content creation, but the reality is if you're live streaming, you're always coming up with content. Can I tell you that I can go live and talk about something in my business? You'll bring me questions and that'll give me content to come back and go live with you again. Simple, right? Yeah, I know. You're like, how does she do that? Oh my goodness. But literally, it gives you an opportunity to survey your audience. It gives you an opportunity to support your audience and have them support you as well. But you're always creating content. I create content at the drop of a hat. I blink and create content, because I tell you, I can make a circle, make a square, as my coach would always say. So I blink and make content. It just happens that way. And then it also establishes a credibility to a cold market. I told you guys that I've had people sign up for my $1,000 classes who I've never met in person. They were a cold market. And some of you are working and fighting hard to be able to convert a cold market. Live streaming allows you that that great possibility of converting a cold market, as long as you're coming through with content that literally is something that they want. I see so many people that go live and the content is dry. They sound like the dry eyes guy. Listen, you gotta have something that really engages your audience. If you don't, it's not going to be worth it. Now, the best ways to maximize exposure when it comes to live streaming, one is multicast. So multicasting is literally when I'm going live on multiple platforms at once. People often get so thrown off about this. Hey, Thisha. People get thrown off by this because they think, oh my goodness, I got to have some great technology in order for me to live stream and multicast. No, you don't. You need a phone or a tablet or even a laptop in order for you to go live and multicast. Multicast does a great job of allowing you to reach a broader audience. I have some people that would only see me when I go live on Periscope. I had some people that would only see me, good evening, that would only see me when I went live on Instagram. Because every platform is going to be different. And now even LinkedIn has the video option. I'm going to give you guys a tip. I always love giving like little tips and things out and little hacks. Right now, the video option on LinkedIn not only allows people who are your first generation connections to see the video, but people that see the video are also your second generation connections. So the people that you are not directly connected with, meaning like they're not already connected with you, or you're not already following each other, they're seeing your videos. How about that? I've seen videos on LinkedIn get thousands and thousands of views because the content, we talked about that content, and then you're reaching all of these people. The opportunities are amazing. So multicasting, like I said, gives you the opportunity to live stream on multiple platforms at the same time. And then number two is going to be repurposing your content. Something that I'm always teaching my clients is that you repurpose content. There is no reason why you have to recreate the wheel. You can go from one platform to the next and share the same thing across all platforms. Why? Because you're going to reach different people on different platforms. And so the people who follow me on Facebook aren't necessarily the people that follow me on LinkedIn, or the people that follow me on Twitter, or the people that follow me on Instagram. So if I'm sharing the same content across all platforms, for one, it's very fluid. And it allows people to, again, we're always trying to make sure people know who we are, who we serve, and how we serve. And in order to do that, they need to see it on a consistent basis. So I go and I repurpose my content for several different ways. I can repurpose a video and have it on my blog. I can repurpose a video and send it out to my email list. Do not neglect the repurpose. Don't neglect it. There's so many ways that you can repurpose it. You can add words, you can twist the video, you can listen, you can add music, you can do all types of stuff. I know everybody, how many people have seen Gary V's videos and how they kind of chop and screw stuff and put stuff together and make all these little clips? Guys, you can do the same thing, or you can have somebody do the same thing. If you're doing the videos already, you just send them the videos. It makes a whole lot of sense. So repurposing content is very, very key to live streaming. Next, we're going to talk about those interviews. So in 2016, I decided that I was going to start podcasting. I know, right? The introvert podcasting, I don't know what I was thinking. But I found that podcast literally is on the rise. If you don't know, go to iTunes, go to Spreaker, go to Spotify, go to iHeartRadio. You'll see podcasts are making such headway on all of these different platforms. And so when it comes time to do interviews, people get nervous because they're like, oh my goodness, what am I going to talk about? You're going to talk about your book? You're going to talk about your business? You're gonna laugh and giggle. Those who come onto my platform, the Speakeasy podcast, they're authors and they're speakers. And I get some people who ask me, well, do you give us questions? Nope. Well, do you let me know what we're going to talk about? Nope. I want it to be a fluid conversation between the two of us. And we may have somebody who asks a question because we go live with it. We may have somebody that asks a question somewhere along the lines that may turn the conversation a whole nother way. That's what I love about podcasting. But every podcast is going to be different. Now, people are going to say, how do we get these interviews? How we do that? I'm going to tell you. So, when you think about interviews, you can go live with somebody on Facebook or Instagram or Periscope. You can do interviews for magazines, newspapers, locally. You can do those type of interviews, but you can also do podcast interviews. And people always ask me, well, how do I get on a podcast interview? Easy. You go to their website and you sign up. I can guarantee you some of them are just that easy. It's just that simple. You go to their website and you sign up to be a guest on their podcast. Now, there's others that are a little more hard. You got to email them and go through this whole process. And I get it because some people vet who they bring onto their podcast. But most people, you get a link and you sign up. Right? Pretty much. Ann just said it. Pretty much. You get a link, you sign up. It's not as difficult as you think. Some will give you questions. Some will let you offer your own questions. And you're normally only really recording for about 30 minutes. Now, my podcast, we kind of talk a bit. So it's, it can go anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 to an hour. Because I'm rogue like that, I'm different. But every podcast is going to be different. I have been on a podcast that was only 15 minutes long. No, I'm sorry, 12 minutes. It's 12-minute conversations. If you go to iTunes, you'll see it. And he's actually in, I want to say he's in Barbados. He's in, I want to say Barbados. But 12-minute conversations. The podcast was 12 minutes long, guys. That's it. Not that difficult. You can handle 12 minutes. You got this. You can handle 12 minutes. You got this. But think about the opportunities. I know for my accountability group, for what I do with them, whatever interviews I go on, they have access to it. That's part of their membership. That's what they get. They're like, yeah, what? Give it to me. They got a whole folder full of people that they can go and sign up for interview opportunities. Why? Because that lets you get exposure. Now, if you're looking to be in a magazine or a newspaper, there's this little thing called Help a Reporter Out. It's called HARO, H-A-R-O. If you go to their website, you can sign up to where literally they send you daily opportunities for you to be in a newspaper or magazine article. I'm so serious. So serious. It's so that easy. They send you every day opportunities for you to be in a magazine or a newspaper. Some magazines are a little more well known as opposed to others, but every day you get an email that says these are the topics that we need, and this is how you can connect with people. Simple, right? Pretty much. Now, how do you gain maximum exposure when it comes to an interview? This is the thing. When you go on an interview, you should always have a gift for the viewers or the listeners. By having that gift, it's a way for you to be able to bring people onto your email list. So it can be a tip sheet, it can be an ebook, it can be a chapter of a book, it can be a workbook, it can be a free webinar, it can be any type of things that you want it to be. But you always have a freemium when you go and do these interviews. And that is the way that you get people into your funnel. You get them on your email list, and that way you can connect with them outside of that interview. Now, I get people on a regular basis who are adding, who are coming and joining up on my email list, because when they listen to the replay, I gave out that link on the replay. The link is normally in the description for that episode. And so there's always going to be people who sign up for my email list when they go to that link. So having a freemium to offer the audience for them to sign up for your email list is excellent. Who doesn't like a free gift? Who doesn't like a free gift? Everybody likes a gift. So with that being said, you just got to make sure it's something that's juicy enough that people really want it. The second one is share out the replay. Can I tell y'all, I found, and I'm going to just go on my soapbox for a second. I have found that some people are just the worst at maximizing interviews. I'm going to tell you what I do. When I'm doing an interview, the flyer's going out. If I'm on the interview, the flyer's going out. The replay, I'm sharing it all across social media. I'm tagging the person that interviewed me, everything. I even at one point when I first started doing interviews would go live on my social media when I did the interview and tag them in the live stream. And then when it came out, I would go ahead and share it back out and let people know that literally this is the interview that I was doing last week. This is the interview that I was doing last month. And that's the other thing. When you sign up for interviews, it's not always going to be immediate. Sometimes it takes a while. I think right now on my list, we're scheduling all the way out to August because so many people have been signing up, and I only record twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so literally as people are signing up, I've had people reach out and say, oh my goodness, it's not until August. And I said, well, it's kind of getting busy. It's a lot going on. But if you ever see one of the replays of my episodes, you'll see that people have fun when they come on to the Speakeasy podcast. That's one of the things I always hear is, oh my goodness, this was so much fun. I loved it. I was so comfortable. That's what matters. So share out the replay, share out the flyer, share it all across social media. And this is that nugget, share it to your email list. Guess what? People always miss that part. And so literally, what is one of the things that I'm going to start doing is sharing those replays to my email list. Why? Because guess what? Not only are you promoting yourself and what it is that you've been able to do, but you're also promoting that podcaster, that magazine. You're promoting them as well. So interviews are everything. Now, networking. I can tell y'all, networking is not on the top of my list. Well, it wasn't before. Because networking always gave me an image of a whole bunch of people in suits handing out business cards. How many of you can agree? Can you agree that that's literally what it would do for you, is you would see a person in a suit handing you a business card, and it kind of really deterred you and turned you off and made you not want to go to a networking event? I had to look at networking completely different as an introvert. Because first of all, being in a room full of people is not my ideal place to be. So that's first and foremost. But I knew that networking was a key element to my success. Networking has afforded me the opportunity to meet with Ann. It has afforded me to be in so many communities and meet people in real life. See, it's great to meet them online. Hi, guys. But meeting people in real life takes it a step further. So networking allows you to connect with potential clients. I literally have gone to networking events, come back from the networking event, and somebody say, oh, I need such and such. And somebody suggests me because they met me at the networking event. I've had people who have literally sent me client after client after client because they met me at a networking event. They got to see me in person. So networking events allow you to connect with potential clients. It also allows you to get speaking opportunities. I can't tell you how many times people have heard me speak or have seen me at a networking event and said, oh my goodness, I've been watching you for a while, or, it's great to meet you in person. I would love to have you speak at my event. I literally, through networking, connected with someone in California. And so next month in June, I will be in Atlanta speaking at his event. We connected through networking. That's all it was. It was networking. He took a class of mine. He really liked it. We had been following each other for a while, and hey, took it to another level. It also allows you to build a resource list for your clients. This is really big. People get nervous about, sending people to other people. I don't. If I don't know how to do what you need, I'm going to send you to somebody else. I definitely am. I'm going to send you to somebody else that can help you and give you exactly what it is that you need. I'm not going to try to do it myself. So building a resource list for my clients is very important, because I can send them there and say, you can get your graphics done here, you can get this done here, you can get that done here, and we have a community, we have a support system. So if I have somebody who says they want to get a book published, I can send them to a publisher. I don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, I don't want you to send you to a publisher because then it may take you as my, no. That's not what we're doing at all. So you build up a resource list for your clients and yourself, because there may be something down the line that you need for yourself. And you can literally go to that resource list and be able to say, hey, I met you such and such place. I would love to be able to use your resources, or use you, for a project I have coming up, or use you for an event that I have down the line. Networking does that for you. Now, how do you gain maximum exposure at a networking event? Networking can be virtual, or it can be offline. It can be virtual or offline. But gaining maximum exposure, number one, share out the pictures and information. So you got to take pictures. I don't like taking pictures is the other thing, guys. I know I'm sharing you all these things that I literally did not like to do. So I don't really like taking pictures, but taking pictures and sharing those pictures when you're at, events, when you're at different events, allows you to literally show people I am showing up. Because guess what? Can we be honest? How many people have you had that you've told them about an event and they said they were going to show up, but they didn't? How many times have you, had something that you were promoting and you went there and it wasn't a lot of people there at the event, even though it was great information, it was great knowledge, it was a great event, but there weren't really a lot of people there? Can we talk about how people talk about showing up, but they don't always show up? So share the pictures and the information from the events that you're going to. And we'll talk about that in events as well. Connect with the attendees on multiple social media sites. So don't just say, oh, I'm going to follow you on Twitter, and then that's it. No. Connect with them on different social media sites, because you never know how you may connect with them again. So what I do is I often, when I connect with people live, I send them a request in a couple areas. I don't send a request on Facebook because I'm at my limit for friends. Facebook is kind of packed. But I do send them a request on Instagram and on LinkedIn. So after Facebook, the next platform that I'm really active on is going to be LinkedIn. And then the next one after that is Instagram. So that's why I keep it in that realm. If you're not active on a social media site, don't send them there. Please don't do it. Don't send them to that one, because you definitely want to make sure that you're sending them somewhere where you're active and where all of your stuff is up to date. Because you never know when they're going to come back and reach out to you for a potential opportunity. Also, be the thread. Be the person that connects people to other resources. So if that person isn't really somebody that can network with you or that you need, but you may know somebody else that may need them, make the connection. Literally, go in Facebook Messenger, or go in LinkedIn on in the inbox. Connect those two people together. Be the connector. Be the thread. Because it shows just how you are as a person. It shows you. But everybody that I meet is not going to be for my benefit. And I'm okay with that. Everybody's not going to be for my business. And I'm okay with that. But I may be able to connect two people and they go off and do some amazing things together. And I get to know in my heart of hearts that, you know what, I was able to make that connection happen and be excited about it. So that was the networking. And then we have, oh my goodness, live events. So again, as the introvert, live events scared me, guys. I mean, completely and utterly scared me. But I'm going to tell you what I learned. I learned that live events is my opportunity to show up and take my shell off. I'm going to tell you how that is. Live events allows me to come before people that do not know who I am, and I can be the best version of me. And I did that recently, last year, at a podcasting conference, a podcasting summit in San Diego. And I showed up and I said, okay, I'm normally scared when I go to these. I'm normally the introvert, but I am going to show up and show out, you guys. They're going to know who I am when I leave. Yeah. Well, I sure enough did. And I love to dance. So literally, when there was an opportunity to dance, I would get up and dance, which kind of landed me on the stage, and then landed the organizer actually knowing my name. He knew my name and actually requested me to come back on stage and dance. Now, again, I'm the introvert, so that was pretty hilarious to those who knew me and knew that I'm usually this shy and quiet person. But it's your time to come out of your shell. It's your time just to let loose a little bit. And that's what it was a great opportunity to do. We had s'mores on the beach by the water at night with the whole campfire and everything. It was really nice. But I really had to say, okay, guys, I don't know. But I'm going to go with it. We're going to go with it. Your live events are your opportunity to shine. You're with people that don't know you. It's a new opportunity. It's fresh faces. Show up and show out. Now, the greatest way to have the most exposure when it comes to live events is, again, goes back to sharing those nuggets and pictures. Pictures, nuggets, pictures, nuggets. And if you're somebody that's not very photogenic, that's okay. Sharing pictures of the event itself can work as well. Sharing pictures of, your booklet, sharing pictures of you with other speakers and things of that nature. But sharing those pictures, it always will bring you visibility to your brand, to your business, as well as to the event that you attended. And then this is the other thing that I did, right? I took the initiative to ask questions. Now, as the introvert, I'm normally the one in the back of the room with my head down, like crunched down, so people can't really see me. But at this event in San Diego, I went and I asked questions. They gave opportunities for us to come up to the microphone to say a statement or ask a question. And I did it. I got up and did it. Now, I can tell you that event was really, really great, because I walked away with that event with about 15 interviews set up on some really well-known podcasts. If you go on iTunes and put in my name, literally a ton of podcast interviews will show up. Same thing on Spreaker. If you put in my name on YouTube, like, podcast interviews will show up all over the place. But I got 15 from my personality and from me showing up and being my authentic self. It was okay to be my authentic self. And guess what? Opportunities came out of it. Not only that, after that, other attendees were like, I remembered you and I remembered your smile. And then when I heard your story, I was just like, oh my goodness, your story is so powerful. But your smile, I always will remember your smile. Guess what? You want people to remember you for something. Don't let it be because you tripped over the carpet. Don't let it be because you got drunk at the night party. Let it be for something amazing, because you added value to the event. Now, I am wrapping up, but also, do you guys have any questions for me? Don't forget, even if you're catching this via the replay, you can still post your comments and questions, and I'll come back and engage with you. Thank you to everybody who has been so gracious and graceful in sharing this out. I appreciate it, because somebody may need this information. Thank you, Anne, for allowing me to speak this evening for the businessmen and women of color. To everybody in the BMWOC BMWOC community, I applaud you. You guys have been rocking it out. You're doing some amazing things in your businesses as well as in your life. Continue to strive and push for greatness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll through and see if there's any questions that came through. And if so, I'll answer them here at the end of the video, and then we'll wrap it up. But so just so you know, again, I am Altovise Peltzer, founder and CEO of the Your Voice and Reactivate Me community, empowerment speaker, author, life coach, and podcaster. Listen, Ann said sometimes you have to play to be, come on. Sometimes you got to pay to be on there. Listen, you got to pay attention to stuff. Sometimes you got to pay to be on the podcast sometimes. Definitely make sure that you make the contact. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Hey, Thisha. I see you guys came in strong. Oh, my goodness. Yes, Periscope was amazing, guys. People are still on Periscope just as strong as ever. But I stopped being on there as much because, you know, it's a lot going on over there. I just found that my people were on Facebook. My peoples. Now, granted, I can still go over to Periscope and do a video and have like 200 views. I'm a VIP broadcaster on Periscope, so I may go back over there. But right now, I love Facebook and I love LinkedIn. Instagram is like, you know, it's like the third love. That's like the third love. Oh, somebody said unicorns are cool, but I like dragons better. And that is A-okay. I am a unicornaholic. For those that do not know, yes, I tell people all the time, I have a ton of unicorn mugs and unicorn things, paraphernalia, because I am that unicorn. Yes, I have little unicorns that I give my VIP clients as well when they are in my emergency charger is a unicorn. All of that stuff, right? You guys were rocking it out. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for pushing it to the max. I know. It was really interesting. Like I said, I had the PowerPoint for you guys and everything, and boop, no. And it's probably working at this point. Now it's probably working. But of course, as soon as I went to go live, no Wi-Fi in the whole area, but that's okay. We still made it work. Yes, author interviews are the best. Connect with podcasters everywhere. You can always share your story. There's always somebody who's looking to hear your story. Oh, thank you. That's right. Who you are, who you serve, and how you serve is something I'm always telling my clients, exactly what people should know about you when you show up. Who you are, who you serve, and how you serve. Every single day when you live stream and everything else. And so Ann said, oh, thank you, Katara. Ann said, describe a time when you lost a huge opportunity. And so I found that for me as an entrepreneur, in the beginning, I was eager to say yes to a lot of opportunities. And I had an opportunity come through and I was like, oh my goodness, yes, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sign up and yes, this is gonna be everything. And then I wasn't able to sign up for the opportunity because it had a pretty high price tag on it. And it's interesting. I'm gonna tell you why it's so interesting, because it was for the John Maxwell public speaking program, because they have a speaker program. It's about I don't know how much it is now. It was about $5,000 when I was about to sign up to be able to do it. And so you had to do like $2,500, 2 payments of $2,500 or something along that lines. And I said, oh my goodness, I'm excited about being a speaker. I really want to take advantage of this opportunity. I know it'll take me far. This is the thing. This is what I did not know in the beginning, was I did not know that signing up for that opportunity would take me far, because I would have a certificate saying that I did John Maxwell's program, but that I wasn't learning how to put the business into place. I wasn't learning how to make it a sustainable business, or how to really get paid as the speaker. I was learning the techniques and the tools, of which some are still very viable and some are very, great tools and techniques. But I also was not learning how to be my best version of me when I am a speaker. And it wasn't until I met someone else, my current business coach, who I've been with for 2 years, that I learned that, okay, everybody's program is not going to be for you. Everybody's opportunity is not going to be for you. And even though I was really upset about missing that opportunity, the reality is I wouldn't be where I am right now saying that I've been off my job a full year now. Come next week, it'll be a full year that I've been off of my job and been working for myself full time. Literally, it's been, in 2017 was the first time that I had somebody pay full price and paid it. And paid it in full price for one of my classes. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And my classes are $1,000 classes. So when I looked at these opportunities and these things that came about, I was like, would I really have had those same opportunities if I had done that program? I never would have met my business coach that I have right now. And I think that we sometimes get a little hype about the name of a person. We get a little hype about the experience that person says they had. They say they made 6 figures, 7 figures. So we kind of get excited. And then we think that the program and the exact steps that they use to make their 6 and 7 figures will work for us. And it's not necessarily how it goes. We have to find our own strategy. And I was talking about that on my live this morning, is that we really have to know that in order to be tailor-made for success, guess what? The tailoring process goes to who I am. I can't take somebody else's tailor-made success story and try to wear it because it's not going to fit. And so I was mad at the moment that I missed that opportunity, but later on down the line, I found that it wasn't really a missed opportunity. It was moved out the way for me to be able to achieve a better opportunity. So with that being said, thank you guys. Those who haven't done so already, share it out. Again, connect with Ann, business men and women of color. I'm going to say it right this time. Business men and women of color community here on Facebook. Definitely go and join the community, as well as connect with Ann, so that way when she does the next batch of interviews, you can definitely be a part of it. And if you go to the website, you can definitely go and vote. You can vote on the interviews that are on there, determining what interviews really sparked some interest with you, what interviews really flowed for you. Definitely go and check them out. Until next time, guys, I appreciate you, and don't forget to press it out.